How's it going, guys? James96 here, back with another episode of City Skylines. So let's get started. Let's ramp this right up. So last time we kind of got started on setting up an area. We've got a bit of commercial, a bit of industrial, a bit of residential. This episode we're really going to try and bump it up, I think. Try and get really set up and started. We've got a high... Oh, look at that! Little hamlet. Reach a population of 500. That's pretty cool. So we've got some things that we can do now, some new features. One of which is taxes. We got loans, we got garbage, healthcare, and education. We got a school, we've got medical centre, and a landfill site. So there's some new things that we can get started on, which is awesome. It's good timing. So, first one that we're going to do is we're just going to toggle with our taxes. It looks like 11% is about the perfect sort of tax level to go for, just from my experience. So we'll get a lot. You'll see our income shoot up in a second because of that, hopefully. Oh, need to extend our water a little bit. That's one thing you've got to be careful of. Good, that's that done. And you'll see those icons will go away, just like that. Yep, please. Yeah, good, that worked. I always like to check just in case, but that should be fine. Right, let's get some more residential sorted. So if we pick up the 4-lane roads, and we're just gonna go for a bit of a grid, I reckon. So let's just do that, and maybe another one here, like so, and another one here, just like that, and then maybe we'll join those up, and that'll give us a ton more residential. So let's fill some of that in. Just gonna put it there, 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 and there. That's tons of residential. That should keep them happy for a little while. Right, industrial. Now, what we're going to do with industrial for the time being is we're just going to drag a road out like this. Yep, that'll do. And we're just going to zone a bit more of that in. Not too much, because we don't need too much at the moment. There's not much of a demand. There will be soon. Oh, I haven't done that very well at all. Let's try that again. That's better. Right, just like that. And that should hopefully start to be built onto. Where are all the garbage trucks? Why is no one picking up our trash? Right, so that's one thing that we need to build. So if we go down the bottom, we've got garbage, and you'll see we've got a landfill site. So garbage actually comes into this, and it's actually a very important thing to take into account. Now I'm going to try and put a garbage site probably on this middle part here, if I can find a place for it to accept it. There we go, just there. And you'll see all the green areas, everything that it will extend out to, and that's all based on traffic flow. So we'll put it there for now. We can always move it about, and we probably will need to. Oh, water, don't forget to do your water. Just like that, like this, and like that, and then we'll just connect these up just to save us some time before we forget to in the future. And there we go. So that should start being sorted now. Let's ramp the speed up a bit so that we start to see a bit of progress. So you see they're complaining about garbage, but hopefully as we put a garbage facility in, yeah, those are already starting to disappear. We don't want a trash problem, that's just going to cause us problems. We've also unlocked healthcare and education, but we're going to leave those for now because you don't want to put in too many services too early on, because they really hit your weekly income. You'll see with the elementary school, its upkeep is 160 whatevers a week, so that's quite expensive, and you want to try and keep your income as good as possible when you're starting. Right, we need some more power. Where is our power? Alright, let's just pause that for a second. Where is my power? Oh, it's just there. Right, okay. So, let's put another one of those down. Can we afford 2? No, we can't afford 2. Alright, we'll just put another 1 in. And you should see the electricity availability is sitting alright. Hopefully we'll be able to put another 1 in soon, and that will help that out. We're starting to see some pretty good growth of our residential now. Let me get off this view. Yeah. So we're starting to see some good growth of our residential area. We've got a nice little gridded system being set up here. It's probably not the most efficient how, well, it's not the most efficient how we got it at the moment, but Oh, look at that. Worthy village. Reach a population of 1,000. That's awesome. So, with that, we can actually unlock a new tile if we want to. Districts, which I'm going to get onto in a second. Policies, second loan, industry specializations, which again I'll get onto in a second. Service policies, fire department, police department, unique buildings, forestry specialization, agricultural specialization. Wow, there's a lot of stuff with this one. We've got some policies, and we've got a police station and a firehouse. So, that's pretty cool. Now, let's pause the game so that I can show you probably my favourite one out of these, which is the districts. I'm a big fan of districts. Districts are where you can specialise areas out. So, first thing we're going to do is make a nice big old district, and as you can see, you could just brush it in like that, and it's really easy to do. We'll keep it Florence Heights for now, and we're going to call this we're going to make this forestry specialisation. So now what that will do is it'll change out all of the industry we've got in there, because you see at the moment this industry is just bog standard industry and it pollutes, and I don't really want much pollution, especially near where we've got sort of water and stuff like that, and also just because I'd prefer to use a specialised industry. It looks a lot nicer, as you'll see. So what you'll see happen in a second is all of this industry will get torn out and new forest industry will be put in. So let's watch that happen. So if you look, all of these buildings will start disappearing. You're not a coal power plant, are you? No, you're just... yeah. And then hopefully soon... there you go, there's one. Planks for life, there you go, that's a... yeah, electricity might be a bit of an issue whilst it's first starting. Hopefully this will start to... maybe I should D-zone just a little bit, just while we're getting started. So we need everything to kind of hook up using that internal electricity thing that we were talking about before. We may have to just chuck a couple of extra pylons in just to keep everyone happy. Let's just extend out that way as well. Alright, and that will keep everyone happy. So you'll start to see that get affected. Each industry has a positive and negative. I think the downside with forestry is that it takes up more water, but it's a lot cleaner industry, and I don't think you need as educated workers, which helps because it means that we won't have to spend as much on education. So it's all a balancing act, really. It's really clever how this game works. Let's chuck another one of these in, I think. Get that done so that we don't have to worry about that too much. So we've got a bit of industry demand, but other than that there's not much that needs doing at the moment. You can also set policies for your districts and for your city as a whole. So at the moment we've just got power, water and smoke distribution, smoke detector distribution, and these will do things like obviously reduce the risk of fire, but it will also cost you 5 cents per building. So, you know, it's give and take, not too good. Now, crime is definitely something that we need to put in. Crime is one that you can't really get away with not putting in. Some of the other ones you can, but crime is best to just put a police station straight away, just so that it's done. It's not too bad. It's only, well, it's $4.80 a week, so it's not the cheapest, but as you can see, everyone gets affected by crime until there's a police station in. Once you got one in, you can generally not have to worry about it too much, and you'll see our crime rate is dropping now, and it's going to stay at probably around 11%, oh, 10%. So there you go. That's something to bear in mind. Look at that. Our town is starting to grow already, and we're starting to get some more demand again. So let's get on top of that. Starting to get some residential demand. So let's zone some more of this in. I'm just going to use my fill tool with the residential because it's a lot quicker, just like that. And then industrial. Yeah, you'll see our industrial demand is starting to grow. And like I was saying, just look at how much nicer this industry looks. If I take this off, I mean, look at that. You start to get trees popping up. It just looks a lot nicer. And you can't just put this specialised industry anywhere. You actually have to look at the natural resources tab, and you'll see that basically forest is this green stuff. So there's not a great deal of forest where we're building, but there's enough. Fertile land is one that is very good. You've got oil. Oh, look at that tiny town. We're blasting through the population today. So we're now up to 1,500. We've got decorations, level 2 unique buildings, parks and recreation, smoking ban, pet ban, and we've got a high school, so we've got more education stuff that we can get into. But yeah, we've got ores over here, and I think there's also, yeah, a bit of oil over there. So lots of stuff to bear in mind. Right, let's carry on going. Yeah, I know we've got some new services, and every time that you level up your village you get a lump sum of money, so that's a good thing to take into account. It means that you can, you know, progress with certain things. So let's just check how we're doing for a second here. Let's ramp that up as well. Let's have a look at traffic. So at the moment our traffic's all green, which is nice to see. We've got a little bit of red here. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's a traffic jam, that just means it's high usage, and it will be because you've got garbage trucks using it as well as everything else, and it will be a congested area. So we may have a couple of problems with that in the future, but I've already got plans in mind as to how we can fix that. But for now it's just all about growth so that you can get tax income. So you see our weekly income at the moment is about 2,000. We want to get that as high as possible. And I think water availability is fine. It must have just been new houses coming in then. Right. Let's get some more residential zones. So I think I'm just going to take a road out, not connect it all the way, just put it slap bang in the middle there. Just to add some more, but make a bit better use of space. Now, this isn't obviously the optimal way of doing it, but it's kind of how I prefer to do it, just because it looks a bit nicer. Let me just water this area. Okay, we're gonna have to join it up to there and then across, like we'll just do it like that. Good. Now that area should all be getting water. We got some commercial demand at last. Good. Commercial demand at the start isn't very high, so there's no point setting out loads of commercial space because it just won't get used. Let's do that. And water. See, lots of things to remember every time that you expand. You've got to do water, you've got to make sure your electricity's fine, and you've got to keep up with demands as well. See, the commercial demand's already going down and I haven't placed any in yet, which is a bit disappointing. So that obviously comes and goes depending on how everything else is needed. So we'll just put in a bit of commercial like that. But as you can see, it's pretty much dropped down and we haven't actually done anything to it, which is a bit weird, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. Power? You should be able to get power, shouldn't you? What's going on with your power? Have we just got low electric? Yeah, there we go. So you've got to keep on top of electricity. So we'll do that. And I'm also seeing that they want a firehouse. So should we give them one? Yeah. Forestry's not very good for fires, and I don't really want to spend my whole time demolishing burnt down buildings. I am considering getting the auto demolish mod, just because I don't think demolishing buildings really adds much to the game. And it's a bit of a pain to do, so that's a good enough reason for me. Right, let's extend this a bit further. I don't really want to have just one long road, so we're going to have some intersections coming off soon. But for now, we'll just keep it like this. And we've got good industry demand, so we're just going to fill this in like so. And you can already see houses starting, industry starting to be built in. And this residential's already filled up, so we need some more residential. They are desperate for some residential in this place. So let's keep it going. Let's try and keep our population blasting up. We're doing very well this episode on our population front. Let's connect that up as well. Can we do it? Yeah, just like that. Good. And then let's just fill that all in. All the stuff that's worth filling in. There's no point filling up those little ones because they don't actually add anything to the they're actually decreasing in land value, I believe. Before something comes in actually, so that we don't annoy some residents, let's put that in. And I've seen that I need to put water in, so we're gonna have to do that as well. This is just a constant balancing act really, of trying to keep everyone happy. Let's do that, let's do that, and let's do that like that. Okay, water availability and sewage treatment are still good. Electricity is not too hot. Electricity, with these wind turbines you need a lot of electricity. You need a lot of them. There's not much you can do about that. It's just a constant balancing act really. You want to try and keep it as far away from residential as possible, so as soon as I can I'm going to move and probably switch to a different power source, but we'll see. Okay, these are red. Let's pause the game quickly before we get some abandoned buildings. So you got to be paying attention to all of your little popping up icons. So these ones are just burnt down buildings. There's not much to worry about there. Right, let's play that. And all of those are fixed. Right, I think that's pretty much all. Oh, we're almost at the next one. What's the next milestone? Reach a population of 2,600. Right, we'll get to 2,600 because that should happen any second now. Because we are, look at that, we're about to hit it. Yes, Boomtown. New area up, unlocked, so we'll probably look into areas next time maybe. Transport is unlocked, which I've been waiting for. Unique buildings, buses, or industry specialisation, so that's a different specialisation. We've got recycling policies and recreation use policies. We've got new road types. Ignore those are me playing with the asset builder. They're not part of the main game, and to be fair, they're not very good, the things that I built either. But we can mess around with the highway now, which is awesome, and highway ramps, which will help our traffic out a lot. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and make sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.